Release the sausages. The sausages must be set free. Couldn't make it up, could you, eh? You couldn't make it up. Free the sausages. I'm afraid I had rather a lot of fun with that on my social media. Probably more fun than I should have. Hello, everybody. I'm Russ Kane. What's left of him? New day, a new beard look. What do you think? Ah? Yes, I thought I'd go from the professorial look to the sort of Allen Ginsberg hipster look. I had no idea. Anyway, there we go. I don't feel quite so wise. I can't sit there with my pipe and my lengthy beard and go, an interesting point, my young friend. Let me think about that. I went with my pipe. You know, every Saturday, right? What have we got going here? Every Saturday, I go and meet my pals for a cigar and a coffee in town in Soho, right? And I didn't feel like a cigar, so I brought my pipe. And apparently I look like a completely different person when I'm smoking my pipe. I suddenly looked wise. I looked intelligent. I know. Miracle, huh? And the thing that made me laugh, of course, it looks like, that's a very interesting point that you're making. There's nothing going through my head. Here to here, just tumbleweed, tumbling along. I will be joined at some point later by the Countess of Curls, as I have now dubbed her, Liz SAUL. Liz is having huge problems with her internet. Oh, Jesus. You know, they pretend. I know, sausage, Leo. I know, sausages. Isn't it the greatest? This is the most fantastic guy. If you've never seen him play, his name is Leo Green. He's a great buddy of mine. The funniest, I gotta say, top 3 funniest people I know. No one makes me laugh quite as much as Leo Green makes me laugh. If you're of a certain age and caliber, like my good self, his dad was Benny Green, the great Benny Green, who I used to listen to, never thinking that I'd actually physically meet up with his son one day and become friends. Anyway, Leo, if you go and see his shows, you'll be blown away. If you love Ray Gelato's shows, it's that, but even bigger, because he has a whole blooming orchestra of about 300,000 people, fills the stage at the London Palladium. Fantastic act. And he's got some great podcasts as well. Brilliant podcasts. It's a great thing about, you go to the BBC, so I've got all this fantastic archive material. But they're magnificent interviews with some of the greatest people who ever lived. Don't really see it. Do you know any really unfunny comedians that we could put on? Do you know anybody who's so woke it makes your stomach churn? If you got any of that, Leo, any got of that archive. No, I'm sorry, I've only got people like, Sinatra, Tony Bennett. No, they're not a really unfunny comedian, are they? I used to love those 6:30 Radio 4 comedy shows. Some of them were absolutely bloody marvelous. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, now, last night, I was very kindly invited to Royal Albert Hall to see Stephen Fry in conversation. And as part of the ticket deal, everyone, we had to queue up, which was freaking chaos, and rows were breaking out because they didn't have enough books. This book, all right? No, Stephen Fry is not coming on this show, but I once shook his hand, but I've never met him. And it's a beautiful book. Can a hero find his way home? I need to ask that of Leo Green, really, to be perfectly honest with you. There we go, Stephen Fry Odyssey, and it's part of a trilogy. Three books. Sausage. I'm sorry, I can't get over that the Prime Minister Release the sausages. What a... Either he's as dumb as I think he is, or somebody running the auto cue really didn't like him. When I was in corporate media, if the people were rude to the auto cue people, these big blue chip companies, and they thought they could insult at conferences the people running the auto cue because you have an auto cue operator. That, my friend, was a very, very stupid mistake to make. You do not want to piss off the auto cue operator. And I would train them and everything, but if they lost their temper, which is so unprofessional, or tried to make fun or belittle the auto cue operator, whoa, they were in a whole world of pain. I drink to that. Chinese got these in France a million years ago, down in Antibes. They're sweet, aren't they? There was a little market, right, where we were staying. Well, the kids were little. And this market was just fantastic. It had bloody everything. And it had all this little coffee sets. And I thought they were very pretty. So I bought them in Antibes. So I got some big news, which I can't talk about yet. I will be talking about it as soon as it's all confirmed in paperwork. Pretty exciting. It's a great honour. It's all right. I haven't got a television series coming on. I haven't got anything like that. But so I've been bestowed. No, not an OBE. Don't be silly. I've been bestowed a great honour. Wait a minute. Half a mo.
There she is.
You like your new name, the Countess of Curls?
Yes, it's quite nice actually. I mean, it's similar to
the Count of Cravats.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. In one ear, oddly enough, but I can hear you perfectly well. Yes. Can you hear me?
Excellent.
Over? Oh, good.
I am relieved. I can hear you.
That is
We're in
good.
business.
We are in business. What have you got? Internet problems? What's the deal?
Marvellous.
I'll try again. Have you got internet problems?
Oh,
over.
Don't even.
I am. You know me. I go where no one else goes because everyone else is smarter than me.
Oh, I'm going to send you some string and a.
Oh yes, like Hezbollah are using at the moment. Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. That's the only thing that's
probably
safe.
Be quicker than my blooming internet connection. So there we go.
What's the matter with it? I thought, we're in 2024, right? We're in 2024. You would have thought they could have bloody sorted this crap out.
Well, quite.
It's just bullshit, isn't it? It's just laziness. Just laziness.
And this is exactly what I said to them. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Have you noticed?
Oh, I've spent the last 2.5 hours complaining, believe me.
That's why your hair's gone curly. That's the fact.
Oh, no, it's been curly for 30-odd years. So,
Jesus Christ, it was a joke. Have you just weed?
Oh. I know.
Not you. I don't think you've weed. I'm talking to my dog.
I was going to say.
I don't think you've just weed.
I finally get on air and then I'm asked impertinent questions.
Impertinent?
The other nickname I have.
Yeah,
yes.
What?
Someone is a journalist.
Who?
Which they didn't like it when I said that either during the course of the 2.5-hour conversation, but there we go.
I'm beautiful. A journalist. I'm going to expose you.
Espresso.
Let's go north of the border to see Dave McSweeney. Greetings one and all from the warm and sunny shores.
Well, no, I didn't say it like that, but I said if they didn't sort it out. Hello, Dave. I said if they didn't sort it out by the time I needed to be on air, I'd bring them on air and then they'd be sorry. So they sorted it out.
Well, they'd be sorry listening to an hour of me. That is punishment.
Oh no,
that is that is beyond punishment. Let's be honest. So Dave Sleep, who I was supposed to, Dave, I owe you an enormous apology.
Aside from Countess Curl.
I was supposed to meet up with Dave Sleet in London because he was down there like forever, and I never did. And I'm really sorry, Dave. Life got in the way. I can only apologise. Hey, there we go. So you were saying, yeah, I know. It's no point getting. Don't you
Talking.
wag a finger at me, woman. Don't you
I can
wag a finger at me.
I can wag a lot of other things at
Yeah,
you,
oh
but there we
God,
go.
please. Come on, I haven't had breakfast. Jesus Christ. I haven't had my breakfast yet. What's wrong with
Breakfast?
you?
What's that? When I wanted to have my breakfast, I was talking to knob ends from
Not Mr.
different
Knob End.
telecommunications
That must have
companies.
been a very awkward thing when he was growing up. His name was Knob Ends. Do you think anybody noticed? I'm in a very silly mood today. I'm going mad. I'm going completely mad today. I'm under enormous stress of schedules. My
Might
schedules.
as well have
Now,
been.
what?
Actually, even
What?
worse is
Yeah.
oh, good. I need silly. Do you know what was even worse? Is he said he told me his name, and it was the
Yeah.
same as my mum's ex-husband.
Uh-oh. Bet that went down well. Was that popular choice? Did
Do
you
you know
just
the
go,
delay on this is terrible?
what it is? It's like I'm talking to you and you're on a mission to Mars. There's less delay talking to the International Space Station, which is going around at a gazillion miles an hour up in the wherever it is. This is ridiculous. You're around. I mean, literally, you're kind of
I
relatively
know
off
it's
your
very
own.
odd.
God only knows. I don't know, but it's interesting because I'm loving the fact that my gags are landing about 20 seconds later.
Well, I know.
I'm a bit
Yes,
nervy.
and it
I'm
is
a bit.
ridiculous. And this is one of the arguments.
I'm laughing because it's ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. I'm also keeping a beady eye on a certain mini schnauzer whose name will
We're doing
remain.
well, aren't we?
We're doing bloody
Yes.
marvelous. Let's not kid ourselves. It's going great. Anybody watching this will think this is the pinnacle of professionalism and technical expertise. Hey, Liz, yesterday I went to see this fellow, and this fellow was at the Royal Albert Hall. I was invited, and he was
Ooh.
just magnificent. Oh my! Are you a Stephen Fry fan? Over.
I have read some of his books, and he's very good. And I find him quite funny on QI.
He is funny on
Well, I
QI.
did.
You did, yeah,
Yes.
but now it's got Mrs. Doodad, and I once worked with.
Sandy
I once
Toksvig.
worked with Sandy Toksvig. Moving along, Dave Sleet. Um, leave it there. Man,
Well, Dave, I didn't like to say, but you know.
even the fringe audiences don't have such a long delay. You can't be late with your fringe show because there's another show coming along like a train at a million miles an hour. You cannot run late. That's all there is to it. You absolutely can't. So, were you working at the BBC today or no? Over.
No, I'm
Over.
at home. I should have had general internet access, but my wonderful telephone provider, mobile telephone
Who is your
provider,
telephone
decided
provider,
to
by the
start
way?
playing silly buggers this morning.
Right.
I'm
Who
not
is your?
telling you because I don't want to give them any more publicity.
We can give them poo-poo publicity. They'll have poo publicity. That's what they.
Yes,
Did you catch the
yes.
show? Did you
Well,
catch
I
the
spent
show?
long enough uttering their name.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Did you catch the
Oh,
show
that's
on
an
Monday?
idea. I could cast a spell after the programme today.
Yes, yes. I think you should. How is the
Yes,
broomstick?
a
Is the
calmer,
broomstick? Is the?
calm. It works a hell of a lot more efficiently, my broomstick, than the telecommunications companies that I've had to deal with this morning.
Do you know the thing is, Liz? Right. In 2024, we shouldn't be putting up with this crap. They make
No.
fortunes. They advertise it to us every 17 seconds on television. And
Hmm.
some of them provide absolutely shit service, and that's all there is. That's all there is to it. Let me ask you a question. And it's a serious question because it's something
Yeah.
that I do. I'm very hot on it. If you get really good service, do you go out of your way to write to the company and let them know you've had really good service? Over. I don't know if she's thinking about this or didn't hear the question.
As we are in 2024,
Oh my God. How long is this
I
delay?
don't write to them, but I will message them,
Yeah.
and I might comment on a post on social media or
Mm, yeah.
something like that. Yes.
Right. Right. Okay. Are you on a phone? I'm just wondering if you're on a phone or a laptop because the phone might be better under these circumstances. What are you using? Over.
This is mad, this
Phone.
delay.
Are you on a phone or are you on a laptop?
I'm
Over.
on a phone.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay.
I'm on the phone.
It should be.
I tell you
Hello?
what, I'm going to go
Hello?
away and come back phone.
Hello?
That's the only internet I have at the moment is on my mobile phone. I'm supposed to have 5G and 4G.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
4G
Come
is
back. What
better
are you
than
going to do? Knock
5G.
back in. Go away. Come back in. Come back
So
in. Please. I need you.
I'm going to go away and come back.
Okay. Bye. Holy God. I just had a call from what? Uh, just had a call from the toaster power unit that put a man on the moon. I know. I know. They're laughing at the modern comms. It's a joke, Dave. It's an absolute joke. 30 years ago, a BMW 7 Series, I'm going back 30 years, had more computing power 30 years ago in a BMW 7 Series than the computing power that landed Neil and Buzz, I don't know, Neil and Buzz, Moonswatch, on the moon. That's true. You have so many more times the power, the computing power, the processing power in your phone. Your phone is infinitely more powerful than everything that they managed to land the moon with. I don't know how they did it. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And yet, they can't do it again. So the people who wear the tinfoil hats say, well, if they can't do it again, but they could do it in 1969, how come they could do it then? You see what I'm saying? If they could land folks on the moon in 1969 and they've never been back, no atmosphere, never couldn't resist, and they've never been back, maybe, just maybe, the pundits say they never went in the first place. Can't or well, this is an interesting question. Please give our love to Sue Sleet, formerly of Staples Corner and Bromley, and now in Fife. I hope she's doing okay. I don't know if they can't go back or they won't go back or there's just no point in going back. I don't know. I really don't know. But I can see the logic. There's that fantastic, wonderful rabbit hole that you can go down. I don't know if you've ever, hello, that you can ever, if you've ever looked at it, that Stanley Kubrick produced the moon landing films. That is one of the most fascinating Reddit uh, conspiracy rabbit holes I've ever been down. I've been down a few because some of them are interesting and some of them you think, for God's sake, could you please up your meds or get professional help because you're mad? Some people are. Some people are completely deranged. There's no point, no point in, we're not allowed to say that anymore. Everybody's right. Everybody has a point to make. No, some people are plain bonkers, and that's it. You know, flat earth. Oh, look at this. Let's see what goes on. Hello, can you hear me? Gene Metcalf, over. No, I can't hear you now.
Oh, well, that's no
Oh,
good.
right, yeah, no, you're good. There you go. Yeah, I can hear you now.
There's still a bit of a delay, though.
No, it's way better. Way better.
Oh, good.
This is good. This is good.
Excellent.
This is
I'm not
great.
moving. I've got everything set.
I don't even. There's so many gags I could do, and I'm not going there. As well as I
Good.
know you. No, I do.
So I received this urgent call that you need me today. What amazing news do you need to impart to me today?
Well, do you remember somebody called Neil Long?
Yes. Where
Oh,
is he,
film.
by the way? He's meant to be
Well,
flying
don't rush
solo on a
me. Don't
Wednesday.
rush me. I am. Oh, she's gone. Right, listen. Neil Long. You remember Neil Long?
Yes, I
I don't
do.
want to rush this. It's a big moment.
Okay. D-list local celebrity.
Film star.
Oh,
Today,
is
I
that
can
it?
announce he's a film star.
Is that it?
Yeah, he's filming. What do you mean, is that
He's
it?
filming. He was meant
He's
to be doing
filming.
it yesterday. So is this a last minute?
If he
Not long.
lied, he with that no good Nick. Has he lied to me?
Well, he told me it was yesterday, and that's why he couldn't go to a
What a little
funeral.
shit. I never liked him. Don't get that on Radio 4. No, Neil is doing some charity film, charity, with
That's right.
the great
We
Bobby Davro.
talked about it on the Midday show a couple of weeks ago. Lynn Crilly was one of the guests, if you remember. That was what it was
Yeah,
about.
I think I dozed off at that point. I'll be honest with you. I think I just drifted off. But the I've no idea.
Rude.
I can't remember anything at the moment. My head is. Oh, sweetheart, you're right. My little doggy is so old. She's 15 and a half, heading up to 16.
Oh.
And sometimes her back legs just give way.
Mm.
She's got arthritis and everything, and they just give way. She'll be standing there. She just collapses like a little ball of fluff.
Oh.
I'll talk to you in a minute about this. Anyway, yeah. So Neil is filming, and apparently with Bobby Davro, who I did Panto with. And,
Oh no, you didn't.
Oh. Is that my amused face? Do I look amused? Bobby and I got
It's your
on like a
Panto face,
Oh,
surely.
shut up! Shut up about it. Anyway, Bobby and I got on like a house on fire. He was bloody hilarious, and we just laughed like idiots, and we became. I'd never met him before. We became absolute good buddies, and we're still buddies to this day. Very.
That's
fond of
brilliant.
Bobby. I'm very. It's interesting. Some of the people that I met in Panto. I mean, one of them went on to great Hollywood success and everything, and we still chit chat on Twitter like it was yesterday. It's wonderful. You
Oh,
can meet,
brilliant. It's
you know,
nice when that happens.
it was lovely. And every time we do something, another big movie, I always write. I say, I can't believe, you were Prince Charming, and we shared a dressing room for 2.5 months, and now you're acting with this one and that one. He goes, yeah, and they don't change. It's nice. I mean, nice people are nice people. It's lovely when that happens. I was watching something
Yes,
on the
exactly.
internet. Let me ask you this.
Mhm.
And it's a theme that comes up on social media a lot. And it's this. Some people hate, and I use the word advisedly, other people's success. And I'll lay the table out for you now. If
Mhm.
someone who's a friend of mine is suddenly has huge success, I am genuinely thrilled. They're my pal,
Yes.
and
Oh,
I'm thrilled for them.
exactly.
Why wouldn't I be?
Likewise. Yep.
And you're the
Oh,
same,
yes.
right?
Yes.
So what do you
I'm
think?
genuinely pleased for people. I like to,
Apart from Neil
if
Long,
someone comes to
obviously.
me and say, I need a hand with such and such, if I
Yeah.
can help them, I will. They're
Oh.
good people.
Totally. And
What I find quite sad,
yeah,
and then because you don't want to be on the wrong side of me,
scares the shit out of me. Tell you that. For sure.
So I'll help people. I'm quite happy to help people.
Yeah.
I'll recommend people if I know they might be good at a particular job or might know of something or be able to help with something else.
Never recommended me, by the way. Not one.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have. I was talking about you last night. I'll come on to it in a second.
Yeah, hey!
But it's the people who they then throw it back in your face, and I think, well, A, that's not very nice, and B, well, that's it. I'm done with you.
Hang on. So you've gone out of your. She's gone now. I don't know where. I don't think she. I wonder if she's AI. Does Liz Saul exist? She could be AI, and it's flickering in the matrix. Liz,
No, I'm
I missed the
definitely
point.
not AI.
I missed the point. Are you saying that you recommended somebody for something and then they throw that back in your face?
Yes.
What the hell's that about?
Well, I don't know. But you think to yourself, well, I've recommended this person, and it's happened a couple of times, and you wonder if it's because they just used you because of the position I'm in.
Yeah.
Not to blow my own
Hang on,
trumpet,
I'm
but I'm a
sorry.
broadcast journalist. I know a lot of people. I have a lot of contacts. I've helped you out. You've turned around and decided to be nasty to me and
Sorry,
about it, despite
I've
the
got to
fact I
stop
helped
you.
you. So it's
Liz,
like,
Liz,
no,
Liz, Liz,
stuff.
Liz, Liz, I've got to stop you. I'm all at sea here. Rosemary Jessup, by the way, me too. I often congratulate and encourage people and old clients, and I mean it.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Rosemary Jessup,
brilliant.
fantastic person.
That's great,
Now,
Rosemary.
here's the thing. I'm completely confused. If you've gone out of your way, you don't have to. You've got no skin in the game. You're not making a
No,
percentage out of it.
exactly.
So you recommend Fred Smith to do a job. Fred
Yes.
Smith does the job. What is Fred Smith moaning about? I'm completely lost.
Well, me too. You'd have to ask Fred Smith that as to why, having been helped by me, they then
Yeah.
decided to be rude about me.
But what have they said? What, you didn't help me enough, or I didn't
And
like the job? Or, I'm completely
no,
lost.
no,
Wow.
no.
Somebody recommended me for something in my area, huge. I can't say more at the
Mm,
moment. I got a
hmm
phone call from a very, very, very dear pal I've known forever, who said, I've recommended you for this particular thing. I said, oh my God, never thinking I'd get it. And yesterday I had confirmation I got it.
Excellent.
It's a big deal. Well, it's a big deal
Hmm
for me. It's not a big deal for anybody else. But for me,
Well, you
on
know,
many levels, it's a big deal. And I said, I don't even know how to thank you. He said, you don't need to thank me. I'm your friend. I said, well,
mhm,
let me take you out. At least I could take you out to. He said, you don't take me out to lunch. I don't
yeah,
want anything. You're a friend. That's what friends do. And I'm
yes,
like,
exactly.
wow,
That's what friends are for. You help each other out,
you
and it's all
do.
good.
You do. But you mustn't do it expecting something back.
Mm,
That's the wrong attitude. You know, if you
mm,
do somebody, if I do somebody a favor, somebody says, could you recommend someone? I go, okay. You know, somebody
mm,
wanted some producers, so I got, I recommended the producer for our podcast, Walk the Talk, The Hero's Journey, etc., etc.
mhm,
It's going to start barking in a second, wait for it. And all
mm,
that, right? I don't expect, oh, thank you, sir. I Somebody recommended it. I'm happy. The guy's doing a solid job for me and for Mark Collin. Now we're crying. Now we're doing the crying. Drama queen of the dog. Drama queen.
Aw.
Oh, I haven't seen you for 5 minutes. It's hilarious. Anyway, I don't understand. It says so much more about the person who's not gracious than you, don't you think?
Oh, totally. And because you think to yourself, well, what? As I said to me, that I didn't have to recommend you. I didn't. I thought it might help. I don't.
Yeah.
I did do it, and they did do a good job, and everything else, and that's fine. As I said, it's happened a couple of times over the years. I'm a
Wow.
bit more wary now because
I
I
agree.
think, well, you've got that that particular job because of me,
Because
and
of
if
you,
you're then going
directly
to
because
be
of you.
ungrateful about it, well, I'm not helping you again. And furthermore, I'm just not going to interact with you anymore because I don't need that drama.
It's so peculiar. I don't know how. I'm serious now. I don't know how
Some
twist.
people are users in life. You just have
Oh,
to accept
word.
that.
What do you do? Let me ask you this, because this happens to me from time to time, where
Mm.
somebody.
Oh.
It's my daughter.
Ah.
Probably telling me she's gone beyond number one in the podcast chart. Right.
Give
Here's
her a
the
plug. What's
uh,
the podcast?
well, she's got two podcasts now.
Oh,
I know, and they're both smash hits. One she's been doing for 3 or 4 years called the Self Care Club, which is
I
the
subscribe to that one.
oh well, that's my kid, and the other one's called 40ish, which is a brand new podcast.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
let me come back to the point I was making before my family on the phone rudely interrupted me. And this happens time to time when somebody you kind of know they're not mates with you, but you know them, you've had a few interactions, and they go, "Could you put me forward? Could you put me in touch with?" And at the back of your mind, you're going, one, you're using me. And two, I don't think I'm going to be very bold. I'm just going to say, I don't think you're good enough or talented enough. You're going to drive this person mad. And I don't
Mm.
want my friendship and my contact tainted by that. How do
Mm.
you deal with that?
I would say that I mean it depends on the context.
Hmm.
I've had something recently where a friend of mine has asked if somebody they know could be in touch with me about some contacts and about some information, and I'm all for and these are I do a lot with students currently. Um, I go and give talks at my
Oh, yeah.
old school, that sort of
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Um, I give careers advice. I'm invited to give careers advice. I'm invited to talk about my career as I was last night, but that wasn't with students. But that was with a Rotary Club, which is very nice. And
Yes. They're still going, Rotary Club. I
oh
used to love
yes,
I used to give
oh
talks
yeah.
at them. They're marvellous, aren't they? I
Well,
think
this
they're
is
rather
it. They
cool.
they invited me to do a talk, and when I said in passing, so obviously my main career is, and I've worked for at least 10 years with the BBC, and I was talking about that, and we've had a very busy beginning of the week because of all the terrible weather. Local radio comes into its own then, in a way nobody
Sure.
else can. Um,
Absolutely.
and it made for a very busy shift. But I thrive on that sort of thing. No two shifts are the same. You're providing that information, you're getting it out there, and people are very appreciative of it. And you get very nice comments about, oh, yes, we heard you, and this sort of thing. And actually, what was interesting, though, is because during the course of the talk last night, I mentioned your name in passing as somebody that I've worked with because I do this show from time to time with you and with Neil. And I mentioned my friend Mike Bushell, who I've worked with, been very kind to me over the years. And I didn't, and very helpful as well. He's a very kind person, very nice. Oh, they were so excited because the people were of an age
Hmm.
where they listened to Capital Radio in its heyday, as I call it, with you and Chris Tarrant and Neil Fox and everything else.
Car
And
and
and Cara exactly, and David Jensen, Kid Jensen, and all the rest of it. And I said, well, yes, because I grew up listening to these people, and then I was very fortunate to get work experience, and now I count some of them among my friends, and they're very nice people, and all this. And Mike Bushell as well. He's been very nice. He is lovely as he comes across on the television. They're like, oh, we watch breakfast television just for him because he's so nice and smiley, and he's very good on the sport, and all these different things. And you
yeah.
think that's lovely. That it's it just. I don't ask for these comments. I've worked as a journalist for a long time. I know the deal with it. Some days are really shit, to be quite frank. With the news that's going on. But it's nice to have those comments. And this is the thing, is an awful lot of people want to still get into the media, whether it's journalism, whether it's presentation, whether it's
Yeah.
production, podcasts, all these sorts of things that you can do now, multi-platforming. And actually, the sort of journalist that there was always something new. So they say, here, try this. And even at school, here, try this new technology. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And even back to the knobs this morning I was having to deal with, I was like, I do understand new technology because I've grown up with that. That's as I go along. Here's some new technology. Oh, okay. I said
Mm.
I've probably got a really good understanding of new technology without being a
Were
technician.
they patronising you?
Yes,
Of course.
massively.
Well, you're a
Of
woman.
course. Well, quite. And that's something that still hasn't gone away. And this is the thing, you see. But I am a little bit cautious. If this friend had said to me, "Could you help me with such and such?" I would have no hesitation at all. But because they said, could I ask you to help somebody else who I don't know that well? I'm like, well, okay, have them email me and we'll take it
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
And my way of dealing with it is, well, I'll look at you on merit. If you want work experience, I have to ask certain questions and then I will direct you accordingly. if I think you're particularly talented or helpful or friendly, or you've been very nice and polite, because to me, manners cost nothing as well.
Precisely.
Please and thank you.
Precisely.
Then I might do a little bit more. But there's one or two people who I've ended up sort of saying, do you know, I've helped, as I say, again, it's like, well, I've helped you.
Yeah.
They weren't satisfied with how I helped, and they decided to take matters into their own hands, and then they messed it up for themselves. And not only did they mess it up, and the only reason I know this is because the person I'd put them in touch with came back to me and said, you know, that person you said, they did that, and then they did this, and then
Oh,
not
but it
terribly impressed.
reflects on you.
And you
This
find
is the
yourself
problem.
apologizing for trying to help people.
You see, that is the worst thing.
Mm,
That is the worst thing. If I do recommend somebody, if I know that they'll do a really great job, whatever it might be. I don't know if it's putting up a cupboard or producing a podcast or doing photography. It doesn't matter what it is, right?
mm,
But what I won't do is have people, you know, it's taken a lifetime to build up the contacts that we have. Be
exactly.
that be it good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. It's a lifetime of work.
Mm,
And for someone to come in, and this happens a lot on social media, and I'm not naming any names,
no.
and you see people come in like sharks, and they go through your friends list, and this has happened to me. I'm not going to tell you how many times, right? So I don't know, on Twitter, I've got, I don't know, 7,000 people. So not huge. And on
Mm,
Facebook, it's like just under 5,000. Again, that's
mm,
not a big deal. The point is, you see someone you don't really know that well, and they come into your friends thing, and they just boom, and they're on off they go. But they're not close to me. They're just using me and then trying to do that. It's like I just, you know, and if I think that their work is, I'm going to use the word substandard or simply not that good. Is that fair enough? Or just
yeah,
not good enough?
yeah.
Because if you don't hold yourself up to a very high standard, what's the point? What's the point? And if I don't think it is, I won't put them forward, and it's quite awkward. And
Which is fair enough.
but it's
And yes, you
difficult.
do feel a bit. The only reason you feel a bit awkward is because you're a decent person. I said I did like that Dave's suggestion there. I always
Yes,
let me speak to them, see if
yes,
they're open to
yeah.
recommendation. That's a very diplomatic and fair way of doing things.
It's a good
And
way. And then they go, "Did you speak to them? Did you speak to them?" And you go, "Oh, yes, yes."
but
But I think
haven't
it's a
anything.
good.
Well, no, then it's relatively easy because then you can sort of say whether you spoke to them or not is immaterial. But
Yeah,
if you know that person well enough that you know that, as you say, they're looking for a certain standard,
yeah.
leave it a couple of days and come back. Do you know what? They're not looking for anyone at the moment, and they've suggested this, and I find that very helpful because
But it's
regardless, a lot of
yeah.
things have to go through official channels. So I'll just
That's
say,
one of
go
the
onto
things.
this website and do this.
Yeah, yeah. But that's one of the things. But when you get someone, I've got this idea, and I know, and you know Joe Blogg. So yes, I do know Joe Blogg. Well, I think he's going to love it. And you think this is a terrible idea, or this is a terrible script, or this is just you're going to no. I'm not going to open that door because if Joe Bloggs or Maureen Smith is a friend of mine, right? I don't
Mhm.
want them inundated with people who are going to drive them round the bend. It's not right.
No,
It's
no,
it's
exactly.
it's not right. And now we dash to the northeastern United States of America.
Yeah.
Good day,
Yes.
Nicholas. Good day to
Don't
you,
worry
Asa Don
about being
Brown.
late, Philip. I had terrible internet problems, so you're just fine. And hello, Asa Don Brown.
Wait a
Good day
minute.
to you.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did Philip bring a note?
Well, he said he's sorry he's late joining.
Did
That's
he
good. Don't
bring
be.
a note?
That's good enough for me. He's apologised and he said good afternoon. He has manners, Russ. We
He
have
has.
to
He
appreciate
has.
that.
Mr. Harling has great manners. That is true. But we're
Well, there you
still
are
here
then.
if he was given a note by matron. We don't
Do you know what? If he was given a note, it would have arrived a hell of a lot quicker than I did at midday.
Philip, that's a good one. G sharp.
G
Perfect.
sharp. Perfect. Lovely. How about A flat?
That's very A flat in the sharp. I was in some ghastly school play with me and Peter Bazalgette, Sir Peter Bazalgette that he is now. It was called A flat and A sharp. It was an absolute piece of crap. But I played a spiv.
Excellent.
Talk about
Typecasting, was it?
And I had this little, I don't know, I was 16 or 15, 16. I don't know how old we were, 16, 17. And there's me and Baz. I had this little pencil moustache.
Now, tell me something. Did you go to a mixed school or was it all boys?
It was all boys.
See, I went to an all-girls school.
Right.
And as I say, I still do go and give careers advice there and things. It's Royal Masonic in Rickmansworth.
Nice.
And it's an all-girls school. And we had a very extensive and successful speech and drama department. I did speech and drama lessons. I was in school plays. I went out and did competitions and things, won a silver medal at the Central School of Speech and Drama, things like that. Very interesting. Very good. And but one of the school musicals that they put on was Fiddler on the Roof, which oh Dave,
Woo woo,
ah,
Pat Sharp,
oh,
woo woo.
Yes,
Man. Pat
brilliant.
Sharp infuriates me. We get back to your story. You know why he really pisses me off? He
Go
never
on.
ages. Pat Man looks exactly the same.
Oh, I
He never
know.
ages. He's unbelievable. Every
Yes.
time I see Pat for lunch or something, I go, I hate you. You look exact. I'm like, become my dad. You look like Pat Sharp from the 80s. How's that even possible? Up in
Well,
his
it's
attic is a portrait.
somebody. Yeah, I've got one of those apparently as well. Because there's
Really?
photos of me from 20 years ago, and somebody remarked to me the other day whether that photo was taken 2 years ago, and I said that photo was taken in 2001.
Blimey. God, I look so different from two. Oh wow. Well, life takes life punches you in the face enough times, you know, and it shows up. Anyway, so there you are, Fiddler of the Roof, and
Yes, an all-girls school, and because I was quite tall, I was about 12 at the time. Because I was quite tall, you know the story of Fiddler on the Roof. For those people who don't know the story of Fiddler on the Roof, you've got loads of mums, you've got loads of dads, you've got loads of daughters, and you've got loads of sons. There's a whole song about it. The mamas, the papas, the sons, the daughters. We're an all-girls school. Because I was quite tall for my age, who do you think got to play one of the sons?
I'm going out on a wild guess here. Was it Elizabeth Saul?
Yes.
Wow.
Among other, those of us that were taller, we had to play the boys.
Of course, yeah.
Thankfully, no kissing. I have nothing against anyone's sexuality, but I'm straight as, so.
You say that.
Oh, I do.
The day is young. We don't know.
Mm.
Oh. I'm in a good mood now. I've got such a horrible afternoon coming up.
Oh, no. Why? What's happening with your afternoon? Just stay here. Don't go anywhere. We'll carry on until 2 o'clock or something.
I've got something very specific to do this afternoon. I am so not looking forward to it.
I'm going out. Well, I'll tell you something exciting that's happening later. It's one of my sister-in-law's birthday. So happy birthday to Kellen. Who is Kellen?
That's like Helen with a K?
Yes.
What's that about?
Well, it's her name.
Well,
it's quite interesting because it's very similar to my dad's name, who's Kelly.
It's a made-up name, Kellen.
No, it's a very nice name, Kellen.
I'm not saying it's not very nice. It trips off the tongue pleasantly. I've just never. Okay.
But Kellen is from Brazil.
Ah, well, you didn't say that, did you?
Well, you know.
You didn't.
She's very nice. She's married to my little brother, my baby brother.
Oh.
They've just come back from Italy. So, and we're going out for the other thing about Kellen, Brazilian food is beautiful. I love Brazilian food, particularly the steak and everything. We are going out. We're going out for Brazilian food tonight.
What is that sauce? There's I don't know.
Oh gosh!
Years ago, found a Brazilian restaurant. I think. God, I can't remember in my head. right? And they did the steak, but they did it in a sauce. It was sensational. Never had it before or since.
I mean, so I don't know the name of the Brazilian sauces that they use and the
Oh, it's
marinades and things,
delicious.
but it's
Oh,
absolutely
wow.
beautiful.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. There's a style of barbecue cooking called
Mhm.
churrascaria. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it
I
wrong.
don't know, but
South American
you just soaked me. You just bloody soaked me.
through
Wipe
the
my glass.
cameras. I'm so clever. Yes, dear.
Right, there's a style called and yeah,
Churrascaria,
okay.
and
Right.
it's beautiful. It's Brazilian or South American barbecue cooking, and
Oh,
that's what we're going for. And it's served up with luxury salad and things like that. The
hang on,
first time I tried it,
what's a luxury salad? What is a luxury salad? What does that
well,
mean?
it's not just a bit of lettuce thrown together. It's
Oh,
properly dressed and everything. Looks
got bow tie.
beautiful.
Like Phil. It's the Phil Dave of salads. Got a
Exactly.
cravat.
Hmm.
Phil is still in Canada.
Is
What
he?
the hell? You don't know
Who
what the
lets
hell
him
he's
in
doing.
there? They're very
Well,
particular,
that's the thing. I think he's got a meeting with Justin Trudeau. I don't he's traveling all over Canada for reasons best known to Phil. He just
I
jumped on
went
a
to
plane.
I went to
Thought, I'm going to
Canada
go there
6.5 years ago, and it was fantastic. I was there for my birthday at Niagara Falls. Amazing. I love
Yes,
Canada.
yes. Yeah, I've flown over Niagara Falls. didn't go there. I
Hmm.
flew over it. I've been to Canada twice. Twice, very fleetingly. I travelled from New York when I lived in America. I went up from New York to Toronto.
Hmm.
They say.
Toronto.
To
Yes.
fire
I've
one
got
ad.
family there. You won't be surprised to know.
I will not. To fire one ad agency and get another one.
Engage another.
Engage. This is my memory of Canada. I've got two
Yeah.
memories of Canada, both of which I think you'll like, both of which reflect very badly on me by way of. So I'm there up with the team from the ad agency. It was back in the day, and we all drank like fishes. And in Canada, and you will know the proper name of it, is it the CNN Tower or the something tower? There's a whacking
Yeah, the
great
CN
tower.
Tower. I've been
The
up to the
CN
top of there.
Then you will understand this story, as will Asa Dombra. Up, should I make a call concerning Phil? Yes, I think you should find Phil and make sure he hasn't been arrested by the, Trudeau's stormtroopers. Anyway,
Are you going to need me on Friday? Is that what you're trying to say?
oh well, if you were free, that would be blooming marvelous.
Mm.
You kidding? I'd love
I
that.
shall check
Right.
my diary.
Yeah, all right. Okay, thank you. She's trying to make herself look important. Anyway, so we go for dinner at the CN Tower, which is a huge tower, and
Yes.
I sit down. I had a briefcase in those days, my suit and everything. Put my briefcase down. I need to go to the loo. So I get up from the table with my colleagues, go to the loo, come back. I'm a little bit three sheets to the wind, I'll be honest with you. And suddenly, I'm in an Alfred Hitchcock movie. Everything is
Oh.
different. I can't find my colleagues. My table is no longer
I
there.
know what's happened.
Well, I hadn't appreciated it was a revolving tower. So I didn't know, right?
What do you mean?
I thought, I didn't know it was. Well, I was so pissed. Anyway, I think I was pissed when I arrived. And anyway, it was a long time ago. And I get up there, and I'm looking. What? Where the hell? What? Anyway, I get back, and then of course I put my briefcase down. All right, I put my briefcase down, and I put my briefcase down. I looked at it, it's gone. Panic.
Yes,
And of course, the second thing is I put it on the bit that
that
remains
revolves.
static, and I'm on
Yeah.
the bit that's. That's my main memory of Toronto. My main memory of Vancouver, which is the western side,
West
the
side.
far
Yeah.
eastern side of it, right? Right.
That's
It was
Michael
absolutely,
Bublé territory.
Philip, you're absolutely right. A giant lazy city, absolutely huge. So I'm on
Brilliant. I
tour.
love that.
I'm on
Yes,
tour.
Vancouver is where Michael Bublé is from.
Okay. So
Bourbon.
we're on a whistle-stop tour of the North America for Capital Radio and British Telecom. And
Hmm.
I'm hitting a town. I'm hitting a city a night. It's a long time ago. And myself and the head of sales and marketing for Capital.
Oh dear.
Best time. This is so terrible, right? It was the best week of my entire life, but I can't even tell you what. And we go to Vancouver. And he says, "Let's go to let's go." We had fabulous dinner somewhere because we weren't paying, right? He says, let's go to some club. So I'm actually in real life in situations like this horribly shy. I'm not comfortable in lap dancer. I won't go. I don't
Oh yes.
like it.
Okay. No,
It's
fair
me.
enough.
It's me.
Yep.
I don't like. It's not that I don't like it or don't approve. I'm
It's
really
not your thing. It's just not your
very
thing.
uncomfortable.
It's fair enough.
So I'm at the bar, and all these very beautiful, attractive girls are doing all their things, wearing sort of dental floss, basically,
Hmm.
and it's freezing bloody cold in Vancouver. I mean, I've come up from Vegas.
Oh.
Such a no, it's my dog. I've come up from Vegas where it was baking, and now I'm freezing and it's sleeting and it's all the rest of it, right? And this girl comes up to the bar wearing like
Nothing.
nothing, basically. And I'm in Vancouver where I've never been, and I'm leaving that night. Well, I'm leaving the next morning. And I go, "You got to say something, It's just." And she says, "I said, you must be really cold." And I'm in Vancouver, right? And she goes, "No, love, it's all right. I'm from Macclesfield."
Brilliant.
So I ended up having this conversation with this dancer all about Macclesfield and northern things. Because when she found out I was from London and everything, she was like relieved because
You
no
know
one
what
had
Macclesfield is famous for?
Parmos,
Silk.
silk, Parmos.
Mm.
Do you know what a Parmo is?
No, it sounds like a
Apart,
sweet.
apart from the time when Ebony did a poo in my car the other week, right? This was the worst smell I've ever had in my car.
Oh no.
Although got to be honest with you, Lizzo, that wasn't great. Thanks, Ebony. I was like, oh Jesus, and I couldn't stop, so I'm driving with my almost like a head out the window. Anyway, she is just an absolute panic. Anyway, a Palmer. In the days when I was stupidly in the music industry, which destroyed me mentally in every other way, it was just
Mm.
terrible. I've alluded to it many times. Terrible mistake, my fault. And I'm on tour with one of the bands, and we'd get on tour. Sometimes we get on stage 1 or 2 in the morning because it was late nights all the time. Then I'd be driving through the night and all the rest of it. It was exhausting. Anyway, we're up in Macclesfield doing some huge show. The girls get on about 1 in the morning, kill it, absolutely. The audience loved it. It was a gay pride thing or something.
Mm.
And everyone's hungry. It's now 2 in the morning. They go, "Oh, you got to have a parmo." And I couldn't understand what they were saying to me. A parmo? I said, I'm not computing this word parmo.
Mm.
They said, "Oh, you got to try a parmo. Just go down the high street. They got lots of par." So blow me down. I go down to the high street in the big 4x4, which I had at the time, 7-seater. And
Mm.
every other shop says Parmo, Parmo. And I'm thinking, I have no idea what the bloody hell this is. Anyway, they all get out because they're all as slim as reeds and they ate like horses, of course. And they come back with these Parmos, which is like a pizza but slightly different, with chicken and the most solid. You needed oxygen because the garlic, it was just, why didn't they just call
Oh
it
wow.
garlico? Oh, Jesus. So the 4 of them are eating these parmos in the car. I swear to God, my eyes were actually watering.
Oh no.
Watering. It's a thing just peculiar, I think, to that town. But everything in the high street is like fried chicken
Mm.
and parmos, burgers and parmos. If you
I
don't
don't
like
mind a
garlic.
bit of garlic, but you don't
Oh no,
want
this
too
wasn't a
much.
bit. Look, no, this wasn't a bit.
The
They could
big
have
chunk.
cut out. No, it was just the sauce. My eye. I'm not
Ah.
kidding. They were streaming. I'm trying to drive them. My eyes were just like I just cut an onion there.
I
Yeah,
was
there we go.
I was at a funeral yesterday in the West Midlands. Somewhat unexpected. A lovely lady, Jenny, who I mentioned a couple of weeks ago when I was covering for you, that she died somewhat suddenly. And there were people from all different walks of her life there, because she had been a very vocal local politician, an advocate for the local party association that she belonged to. She had been a police officer for 30 years in the West
wow.
Midlands Police. Yes. When she retired, she did a lot of work for the Royal British Legion. So with all sorts of people from all different aspects of her life were there. And I knew quite a few.
Proper
Yes.
grown.
Yes. And it was lovely to see everybody. I got to know quite a few of them, so I caught up with people and things like that. And they put on a spread, the family did, as you do. And they said it was a very nice spread. There was lots of salad, designer lettuce, cherry tomatoes, that sort of thing, and wisps of onion. There were quite a lot of wisps of onion, red onions, strewn about in in between the chicken and the this and the sandwiches and whatever. So I was walking along with a friend's son, and he's grown up and everything. I said, "You all right? Do you want this, or is there anything you don't eat?" He said, "Well, I like this and I don't like that." I said, "Oh, well, that looks like that." And as you're going along, I said, "Do you like salad?" I said, "I'm going to have a bit of salad." So I scooped up a bit. "Oh, yes, that's a good idea," he said. I said, "But don't have too much onion." You could smell the onion as you were heading towards the table. Very strong red onion. Red onion's very nice, but I said, "Talk about advice for a young person." I said, "Don't have too many onions. You might pull later." in case you get a snog later. And I beamed at him, and bless him, he just, And he says, "Actually, well, I might as well be optimistic." I said, "Absolutely."
Somebody once told me that one of their, I'm going to keep it very blank. Sophia Note once told me years ago, one of their parents died. And at the funeral of their parent, the remaining parent went on the pull.
Oh, God.
Have you ever?
Well, I know you're supposed to. I know, and you'll know this. In the Jewish religion, there's certain traditions and customs that you follow. In our olden days, the remaining spouse was meant to sort of, particularly if it was a woman, well, it's all right if you find somebody else after 30 days of the official mourning period, then that's fine. These days, you're like, what?
That's good going. 30 days. Blimey, don't hang about.
No.
Keep swiping. Well, I don't know.
Do you know the other funny thing?
I've never done online dating. I wouldn't. Oh God.
Oh God, don't. It's awful.
I wouldn't have.
No, I've got funny stories. As I say, that my funniest story of online dating, I was on Bumble a few years ago, and where the lady gets to make the first move. That's how it works. That's how that particular website works. So if you're a bloke and you like a lady and you put that you like and all the rest of it, nothing will happen unless the lady likes you as well and then contacts you first. It's down to the lady. So it's okay, fine. I contacted this bloke and we seemed to be chatting quite nicely, and we agreed to meet for a drink and things like this. And I get there, it's cut a very long but quite funny story short. He brought his neighbours along on the date.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
No. Oh.
And when you're just like, well, okay. And I mean, it transpired that, oh dear. Thanks, Philip. It transpired that there was a meeting going on at the block of apartments that he lived in. They'd had some issue, and there was a meeting going on, and the meeting had then spilled out into the bar where we happened to be meeting. But equally, the bar was half empty. We could have gone somewhere else in the bar. He could have, got the drinks and said, "Let's sit over here." But no, he's like, "Let's sit down here with my neighbours." And one of his neighbours was 3 sheets to the wind, so she couldn't give a toss. But the other one, who was a bit less drunk, was sort of like, "Oh, hello," and obviously realised we were on a date and made their excuses. But yeah.
One day we should do a show, you, me, and Neil, on dating experiences.
Yes.
Because, Gee, it's been a very long time ago for me now. Long time.
Well, I
Oh,
can always set you up
God,
with someone if you want.
no, it's very sweet of you. Thank you. No, thank you. Thanks. Very kind. Very kind offer. Thanks. Got my hands full.
Oh yeah.
One sat just one sat down for dinner. She brings out a joke book.
What?
Very attractive girl. Brings out a joke book. So I said, "There's really no." And she just kept reading from this joke book.
What?
I'm
Really?
like,
It
please
wasn't one
God,
of your joke books, was it? Was that why
no,
she
it was not
bought it?
even one of mine. And I'm thinking, oh, please God, let this evening be over. Please. It was unbelievable.
Mm,
I just sat there. Look,
yeah.
and that's the most relatable and clean one that I can say, because the rest,
Oh, we don't want to
there's a
keep
lot
it
of
clean.
very,
Oh no. We want to hear the
no, there's a lot
naughty
of very,
ones.
I'm
Oh
just
yes.
saying, there's a lot
Maybe
of
we should
very,
do a midnight show. What do you reckon? Where we can
God, there's a lot of
do
very,
some of these.
all I can say is this: be careful, because there is a lot of very peculiar, quite clearly raving bonkers people out there
Yes.
with a thin veneer of they're normal. And then they're mad as a box of frogs.
Oh gosh.
And on that amphibious
That's why
note,
I don't do online dating anymore.
this wasn't online. This was, oh, you're going to love this person. Am I?
Oh dear.
What are they like? Oh, what a personality. What do they look like? Because I'm that I'm that, thin, right? That facile. What do they look like? What a personality. Holy God. That was an evening I'll never forget. Right, okie dokes. Thank you, Liz. If you can make it on Friday, that would be marvelous. I'll be back on Friday
I shall
with
let you know.
with the fragrant Chantal Ricard's OBE. Have a
Marvellous.
wonderful day. I hope you're going to have a less stressful day than I've got planned. All right. Until
Breathe,
then,
Russell.
bye bye, everybody.
Bye. Good afternoon.
Bye.